Today we're talking about why we love our life in early retirement, especially versus being at work every day.
After spending a couple of decades working corporate jobs, we took the plunge and retired early last year.
But stay with us until the end of the video because we're going to be sharing the one thing that we don't like about early retirement.
Big hello and welcome back to our subscribers. If you're new around here, I'm Gillian.
And I'm Stephanie. We're a couple who saved and invested our way to financial independence and are now traveling the world full time. So if you're looking for how-tos for early retirement, you can subscribe here for more videos.
Today we're sharing all the things that we love about being retired and not working anymore. We retired just 1 year ago after many years of toughing it out in high-stress corporate jobs.
Now, if you saw our recent video about what we do all day in early retirement, you'll know that our lives today are very different from what they were like when we were working full time. And as usual, we'll put a link to that video below along with all the others that we talk about today.
Back in our working lives, we had a highly regimented existence of getting up at the ridiculously early hour of 4:45 a.m., going to the gym, getting to the office by 8:30, then plugging away all day and repeating the whole cycle over again the next day.
It felt like we had barely any personal time or even really a chance to catch our breath. This is totally different from our life today. We're financially independent, we're free from working at corporate jobs, and we get to spend all of our time slow traveling the world.
Today we're going to get into why it's been so amazing to give up our jobs and jump into a life of early retirement. We're going to talk about no more Sunday blues, not having a boss anymore, no more job insecurity, and enjoying all of the freedom that we want.
But first, our question for this week. What are you looking forward to the most in early retirement? Let everyone know in the comments below. It's really great to hear from you.
Let's get started with something we miss the least about working for a living, the Sunday blues. Now, in case you've never heard of this before, the Sunday blues is that sad feeling you get because the weekend is ending and Monday's coming up fast.
This is something we really struggled with every weekend because we had so little personal time while we were working. In fact, Sunday became my most dreaded day of the week because I knew that every hour that ticked by brought me that much closer to Monday morning. It was also the day where we spent a large part of it doing chores, getting ready for the week ahead, so it really didn't feel like we had time off at all.
Now that we're retired, we no longer need to feel sad because the weekend's ending. In fact, most of the time, we don't even know what day of the week it is. We fill our days with things we enjoy, so there's no need to dread Mondays anymore.
So we won't miss Monday mornings at the office. We also won't miss having a boss or even being a boss and managing other people.
For our entire working lives, we always had to both report to someone and also manage teams to deliver results. That meant we spent every workday getting pushed and pulled in all directions.
For me, I always wanted to be a boss and manage a team because I thought that's all part of climbing the corporate ladder. But as I progressed in my career and then I spent more time with the people who were at the top of that ladder, I realized that they were actually the most stressed out, the most unhealthy people in the whole company.
Now that we're retired, we really enjoy the feeling of autonomy. We're free to make our own decisions and don't need anyone else's stamp of approval. We're also free to carry out our own plans instead of having to hand off to a team to do it for us.
Next up, no vacation days. When we were working, the only thing that got us through all those weeks of work was counting down the days until our next vacation. In fact, at the beginning of each year, we would count up all the available days and then we would carefully ration them out throughout the year.
When our vacation days got closer, we would work more and more frantically so that we could take a week or two away from the office. Then, when our vacation started, we would have to magically turn off our stress and pretend that our jobs didn't exist. And try not to look at our email or think about what would be facing us when we got back to the office.
The saddest thing is sometimes I would even question whether it was worth taking that time off at all because of all the extra stress before and after.
Obviously, we don't have any need for vacation days anymore. Because we're choosing how we live and what to do with our time, we don't need vacations from everyday life to relieve our stress. Essentially, every day can be a vacation day, meaning that we spend it as we choose.
If spending your life how you choose sounds appealing to you, you can check out our free 7-day course, which is linked in the description below.
Coming up, we're going to be talking about freedom, variety, and living an active lifestyle. There is also one thing that we don't like about early retirement, so stay with us until the end to find out what it is.
But first, let's talk about having no more job insecurity. During our working days, we never really knew when our companies might need to restructure or downsize.
Even when a company seems to be doing well, you never know when a colleague might no longer have a job, or maybe it's you who's suddenly unemployed.
Becoming financially independent and retiring early means that our livelihood is no longer in someone else's hands. We no longer need to worry about proving our worth to a company that might not need us next quarter.
Those were a lot of no's. No Sunday blues, no boss, no job insecurity. Now let's talk about the yeses.
First up is freedom. Being financially independent and early retired means that we can design our lives any way we want. We can choose where we live and how we spend our time.
Freedom applies to so many aspects of our lives right now, from the time we wake up in the morning to what projects we work on to where we want to live in the world.
A perfect example is how we're doing our travel planning right now. So when we're planning where to go next, we literally pull out a map of the world and imagine all the possibilities.
It's a time in our lives when we feel that anything is possible. And if you want to know more about how we plan our travel, you can check out our recent Q&A video.
The next thing we love about life in early retirement is the variety. We found it really soul-crushing to be following the exact same routine day in and day out for years.
Show up at the office, plow through emails, sit through endless meetings, and then keep doing it day after day. Even weekends start to look the same after a while.
Now, no 2 days look exactly the same. Each new city we visit brings something new and exciting to our lives. So there's always a new culture to discover, new food to try, new landscapes to explore. And after we've had a month to soak in our surroundings, we get to move on to a new city and a whole new set of experiences to enjoy.
And if you'd like to see what our experiences have been like here in Dubrovnik, you can check out our cost of living video next week. Another reason that being retired is so much better than working a corporate job is that it allows for a much more active lifestyle. We used to be stuck in an office, spending the whole day sitting, whether it was behind a desk or in a meeting.
My only relief was to take 10 minutes here and there each day to go outside and do walking laps around the building. And that was just to sneak in a little bit of fresh air and some exercise.
Now we're as active as we want to be. Some days we go on a big hike up the nearest mountain. Other days we take long walks through town. Either way, we are never stuck inside for long. We said goodbye to those long days being hunched over our computers under fluorescent lighting.
So those are a lot of things to love about early retirement. Now we'll share that one thing that we don't like, and that is answering the question, what do you do for a living?
Maybe it's because we're so new to early retirement, we just feel really awkward explaining ourselves when we get asked this question. It comes up quite frequently with our Airbnb hosts as they wonder how it is that we manage to travel full time.
More often than not, we just say we work online. It's a little easier than trying to explain the concept of financial independence and the 4% rule. If you want to know what our everyday life looks like in early retirement, you can check out this video here. You can go ahead and click on it now.
We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can let us know by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for a new video every week. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and we'll see you back here next time.